A bank needs to function in an efficient and experienced manner to gain the trust of its customers, employees, and vendors. Its smooth and continuous functioning is largely due to a strong financial position. Banks have to maximize their profits and set aside a certain sum as contingency for unexpected adverse events. This is done to protect their customers and investors. There are various regulations imposed on banks to ensure that a bank does not fall into an unfavorable position. In this unit, you will learn about banking regulations and capital, the Basel I Accord, components of Tier 1 and Tier 2 capital.
One of the most important parameters of financial strength is the capital or net worth of an organization. Capital is the amount of money initially required by an organization. This money is invested in essential resources to produce goods or provide services. The net worth of an organization is its assets minus its liabilities. Every organization, including banks, want to maximize profits by using minimum capital. In case of financial institutions, capital is required not only to maximize profits but also protect the interest of its customers, vendors, and investors. It forms an added cushion of protection from unfavorable conditions. Systematic risk can be defined as the risk of instability in the financial system due to the ripple effect caused in the event of one bank defaulting. If the exposure of one bank is higher than another in relation to business, then in the event of any one bank defaulting, the other bank can default too. If markets are operated without regulators or government interventions, banks that take risks by keeping low levels of equity capital would find it difficult to attract deposits and might experience a run on deposits. This may lead to systemic risk. Most countries do have some type of deposit insurance with an objective to maintain the confidence of the depositors in the banking system. However, deposit insurance encourages the banks to reduce equity capital to improve their return. Hence, it's necessary to combine deposit insurance with regulations on the capital banks must hold. Banking regulations ensure that the banks keep a certain sum of capital aside in the event of extremely unfavorable conditions. Without this sum kept aside, banks would find it difficult to attract depositors as the depositors would not be sure of the safety of their money. There are standards and regulations for capital adequacy developed by the regulators of the banks. This ensures that banks keep aside an adequate sum and do not reduce equity capital to maximize returns. Click each button to learn more. The basic approach of the capital adequacy framework is to set aside a minimum capital to absorb losses arising from extremely unfavorable conditions. Capital is divided into two tiers based on the characteristics of each instrument. Click each tab to learn more. As you study the subject, it will help to pause and check your understanding. Here is an exercise that will help you to do that. Read the instructions on the screen to complete the exercise. Read the instructions on screen to complete this exercise. In this unit, you have learnt the following. Capital is the amount of money initially required by an organization. This money is invested in essential resources to produce goods or provide services. The net worth of an organization is its assets minus its liabilities. There is a risk of instability in the financial system due to the ripple effect caused in the event of one banking defaulting. The McDonough ratio, formerly known as the Cook ratio, assigned weights based on the risk levels of an asset. The basic approach of the capital adequacy framework is to set aside a minimum capital to absorb losses arising from extremely unfavorable conditions. You have now come to the end of this unit. Answer these questions to see how much you know about the concepts you have covered in this unit. Go through the unit